outside this present moment. As I speak to you here today, this is my soul. And your soul's looking at me. I know that. Because if your soul wasn't here, it'd be a much different scene. There's a lot of rigidity that goes on in our lives. We are taught how to be rigid. I know this to be true because my passion is the youth. I've worked with the youth since I was a youth in Long Island. And I had a Paul Saul conversion and wanted to save the world. So I figured I'd start with the youth. They're so flexible, so flexible. I was teaching a huge group of third graders, and I'm their student. And I was sharing with them an experience, a spiritual experience that I had. Yes, I was graced with the dark night of the soul experience. If I were to sit across the table with each one of you in this room, we'd be able to compare stories. Your dark night of the soul experience, my dark night of the soul experience. What did you take from that? So in less than 2 years, I went through the experience of a divorce, a double mastectomy, 16 chemos, an additional year of chemo, 13 surgeries. I just had my 14th surgery last week because they found growths in the uterus, and a MRSA staph infection that spread through my bloodstream, 6 weeks of daily radiation, and I'm here. The most amazing opportunity for me to practice what I had been learning about and teaching for 20 years. Here I was, my business was and still is, equipping people with quick, effective stress relief skills for inner confidence and inner peace, and to remember who they are. So I love to hang around with the little kids, even over the couple of weeks since the original diagnosis. I flash back to this moment. I'm a second-degree black belt in Taekwondo. I've trained for 15 years, been in state championships, been knocked out, the whole shebang. And so I flash back as I'm walking into this room. I had no breasts, no hair. I was wearing a very attractive hospital wear. And I walked in, and I remember sitting in this chair and looking at this big machine because they had to continually test my heart because one of the side effects is a heart attack. So I was about to have this particular situation happen, and they injected my heart with dye. And when they did that, my heart had an attack. My heart had an attack. And I dropped to the floor. And I remember hearing, "Code red, code red, code red." And then all of a sudden, I'm looking down at everything. And I'm thinking, holy cow, how'd that happen? And I was completely aware of everything in the room. There was no limitations of the eyeballs. It was complete awareness. Not only that, but I was able to feel the stress and the anxiety without being touched by it. It was a place of observation. So here I was observing these people just desperately working on my body, and I didn't have any anxiety about this. It was the most amazing experience. And as I observed, these truths started flushing over my soul. And as I dropped back into my body, and I remember feeling a jolt when that happened, and then this awareness of, holy crud, this earth suit's heavy. And I remember literally thinking, how constricted. And I think about this every day. So I try to spread my soul out. But I feel it's restricted. And that's getting back to the youth. As I'm sharing this story, I see their faces like, you know it, because they're still giving the soul permission to guide the flesh. They're not lost in the flesh looking for the spiritual world. They're already there. They're already there. There's this lag time. One of my prayers throughout the day as I'm talking with God is I'll say, help me to hear and respond quickly. Even if my response is, I hear you, And when I get back, I will call this person. I will write this letter. I will blog about this. I will tweet about this. There's so many options to inspire. So many options to inspire throughout the day. So the children, as I was